Hey, all of you out there in Eorzea, welcome to She Heals. I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. Today is Friday, October 30th, and this is episode 240 of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Vegan Pete. Always with me by my side, the Spooktacular.
Isn't it episode 239?
Nope, it's episode 240.
Really? Because my notes for lore even say 239.
I think it's 240.
We gotta check.
Are you going to the fucking website?
No, I'm just going to like our list of shit episodes. Oh, how did we mess that up? You're right, it is 240.
How did we mess that up? How did you mess that
No,
up?
in here you even wrote episode 239.
I probably just copied it from last week and forgot to change it.
It says today is Friday, October 30th, and this is episode 239.
I know, I changed the date, but I didn't change the episode title.
I think that's like a freaking lie.
But look how smart I am. I said 240, even though it says 239 in there.
So smart. So smart.
Fucking genius.
Sure. Yes. Hey guys, Avi Ale here.
Thank you for that sub, Chili. 39 months. Avi, it is the eve of Halloween.
Hallows
All
Eve.
Hallows Eve, as some people would say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any of those people, but apparently some of them do say that.
I may have changed the FC message to say that, so I suppose I am one of those people.
I know one of those people.
I said, happy Hallows Eve, something else, and I said, oh yeah, and All Saints Wake, Hallows Eve, and oh yeah, make it rain campaign.
I'm dressed as a nervous voter today with the election coming up.
I don't think that's a costume.
Avi is dressed as a witch. Thank you for actually dressing up today, Avi. I appreciate it.
I'm dressed as a Comic-Con attendee. Do you not see my shirt? Front of the line. Bitch.
What did you call me?
Biz.
Well, thank you all for joining me and the witchy witch Avi.
This can't be the thing.
You dressed as a witch today. What do you want me to do?
I am not dressed as a witch. I'm wearing my normal clothes.
This one's called Gaslighting the Witch.
You freaking mean person, you.
Thank you all for joining us. I know a lot of you are busy. You're getting your Halloween costumes ready to go to your quarantine parties.
I mean, I feel like you're getting your costumes ready to go to your couch. No?
Go to your couch with everyone that you live with. That's about all the parties that we can have nowadays. But hopefully you're still enjoying the holiday, the Zoom Halloween parties. There we go. Thank you, Chili. Yeah, I think we finally decided we are going to hand out candy in a safe.
No, we're not handing out
way.
candy.
We got one of those.
Wait. Let me fix what Pete's saying.
No,
he's saying we, it means I am going to put all this effort into pre-bagging all of the candy and setting up a little table outside with like signs and stuff saying please take one, while Pete sits inside and drinks a beer.
But wait, there's more. I got one of those like things that they have at sporting events where they shoot like t-shirts out of it.
No, you don't.
And I bought one of those.
No, you didn't.
I'm just gonna pelt kids with candy.
No, you're not. This is like in your dreams. That's not happening in real life.
Happening.
It's not.
I'm getting sued.
You'd go to jail. Yes.
But yeah, I guess we're here to talk about Final Fantasy XIV, not Halloween today. As always, we like to start out the show by thanking all of you lovely subscribers out there. First time sub from Father Fenway 81, also been hanging out in a lot of streams lately, so thank you so much, Fenway. 5 months we have Helix Grim, 9 months we have Ivory Mist, and at 10 months we have 3 people, Marcus Kyler, Argonaut 54, and Heavy Martillery. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate all the support. And I know not everyone can sub, but if you do enjoy the show, please, please, please tell a friend. That helps us out so much. So, Avi,
yes.
Should we get it started with everyone's favorite segment?
I don't know. I was just thinking, I was like, that's a really short intro, actually. Sure, it's the Greenleaf Minute.
Well, there wasn't like much news to
I did the thing, and now you just talked over it.
I know, but I'm addressing your first point. There wasn't much news to like tease. Usually I'd be like, and we've got a lot to talk about with patch 5.35 notes. It's like, no, nothing happened.
Halloween is happening, and
That's all I had. But it is the Greenleaf Minute. Thank you for that, Avi. That little jingle. And this week we are continuing with information for the Bozjan Southern Front.
Because what else we got to talk about?
We've gone over how to get your relic weapon, but we haven't talked about the gear yet. To get the gear, you're going to have to start beating the Castrum, and you're going to have to beat it a bunch of times.
Interesting choice of words.
Castrum?
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to what I've been calling it?
Mm-hmm.
While beating up bosses in the Castrum, you're going to get chests that drop Bozjan coins. You can spend those coins to buy the Bozjan gear. The head, feet, and arms will cost you 14 coins each. And the legs and body will cost you 28 coins apiece. So that is 98 coins for your Bozjan set of gear. And I think you get around like 24 to 26 coins per run. So you can get your set in 4 runs of this.
So is this what eye level is this gear? What makes it worth putting the effort in for?
It's eye level 495.
Okay.
So it's kind of horizontal progression because that's what our tome gear is.
Right.
Unupgraded. So it's kind of, is it worth it to you? It's like the relic weapon. Is the relic weapon really that good?
Well, I mean, I guess the thing is, it's like yes, the relic weapon is good. Let me answer that, unless you've got the savage weapon, which not everyone.
But is the relic weapon any better than the tome weapon? Not usually. Like, it's around the same. It's not noticeably better.
Well, I mean, the base relic weapon, wasn't that better than the tome weapon? And then because of the 5 slots you could meld?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so yes, yes, the weapon is better.
It's technically better, but it's not like noticeably. Anyone who's just doing dungeons doesn't give a shit.
Does all of this gear have the 5 meld slots on it then? Each?
No.
Okay. So then this is not the same sort of like comparison as the relic weapon to the tome weapon. That's
I would
not the same.
Call this relic gear. I would just call it Bozjan gear.
Right. So this is just the only, I guess, benefit to this versus the tomes gear is that you don't have a limit on how many Bozjan coins you can get. So you can keep doing this over and over and over again until you get as much gear as you can fit into your time schedule, basically.
Well, I don't think there's a limit on tomes nowadays either.
The top tomes, even? Wow. Game's in an interesting space.
At least
right
I didn't
now.
think there was.
There always is. There's a cap. There's always a cap.
I thought they'd take it away.
Yeah,
okay.
Chile says no, they never take a cap off the top tome. The other tomes will get like a larger one.
I guess I just don't.
It's a 450 cap. Thank you guys. I was like, keep making me doubt myself.
I don't even notice because like after like 4 weeks, I don't care about capping.
I know that's you.
I've been just stuck at 2,000, not even getting any tomes for the shit I do.
But really, with like the top tomes?
Yeah, I'm not an altaholic. I don't have.
It doesn't take an altaholic. That's literally just like gear up an alt.
Everything that I have leveled, I have geared.
Oh, okay. Everything? You mean your healers?
I mean, they all share gear. So
what's their eye level?
Like 480? I don't know.
All right, that's not bad. Okay. I mean, I know we are on like a really long time period of not getting anything really new for that stuff, using the same tomes. It's been long. But yeah, and then when you do the savage raids as well, it kind of changes things because the gear you get there is better than what you get for your tomes. So
and at this point, the savage gear is uncapped.
Right, that is uncapped. So sorry, I feel like we got off topic a little bit. So basically, we were talking about the Bozjan gear and whether or not it's like kind of worth your time.
So it only takes 4 runs of the Castrum to be able to get this set. So I don't think that's
Can you do anything else with your Bozjan coins?
Stick them up your ass. Do whatever you want with them.
I'm sure chat's gonna respond and be like, "Yes, you can buy this." Because come on, Pete.
No, there's nothing else you can do with the Bozjan coins.
It's just gear. I personally don't really care about the Bozjan gear. I don't really like the way it looks.
Oh, I have no idea what it looks like.
I think you're wearing the pants on them. You were excited because your character actually had a bulge. Wasn't that those pants?
No.
Oh.
That's just some random ass pants I have on my crafter.
You can eventually buy the upgrades for the gear.
We'll get to that.
So I guess Chili says he's been raiding in the healer set, which is interesting, Chili. It kind of explains a few things. No, I'm just kidding. But it is to prepare you so that you can upgrade the gear in the next patch. But for right now, it's literally like you're spending your time.
They better be. I don't even know if they've given us confirmation of that.
But that's kind of the idea, is that you're getting this gear so that it will be better gear in the next patch. But so really there isn't essentially like, I feel like this is a negative thing for Bozja, honestly. Like there isn't really like so much incentive to get this gear.
I mean, if you don't like the look of it, if you don't want it for something to progress, a la a relic weapon,
It doesn't help the relic weapon.
Or like a relic weapon, not to
So
help the relic.
Or you get stat boosts, that's right, in the Bozjan Southern Front from it.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to talk about. You can upgrade this to the augmented Bozjan gear, and that's going to take you even more runs. To upgrade your gear to the augmented version, you're going to have to trade in your Bozjan gear along with a Bozjan's Runner's Secret for the appropriate piece. So it'll say Bozjan Runner's Secret legs or arms or body, etc. Now, you can get lucky, and the chests inside the Castrum have a chance of giving you that drop instead of coins. So I actually have gotten the legs drop in there.
Congrats.
And I was just kind of curious, and I saw you can sell these if you get them. And so I was curious what it would sell for, and it was selling for over 2 million gil.
Nice.
Didn't sell it because I don't need gil. But that's maybe potentially another thing you can do to get some gil if you need and you enjoy running the Castrum.
That is true.
So you can keep on doing that. But if you don't get lucky, you don't get it as a drop, you'll need to turn in even more Bozjan coins to buy them, buy the upgrade piece. The arms, feet, and head upgrade piece are going to cost you 500 coins each.
Ouch.
And the legs and body are going to cost 999 coins. So if you don't get lucky with some of the direct drops, that's going to be about 60 more runs to upgrade all of your gear for one class, basically, because I'm assuming it's all shared gear. It's not job specific.
Of Castrum, which is something that spawns only every hour and a half in each zone, and you have a chance to get it. You're not, well, I mean, most of them don't max out, but you have to, like, it's a lot of effort to get that, all those coins, all that in there. Like, this is just, it's a lot of RNG with things, and I don't know. Continue, Pete. I'm sorry. Don't mean to keep going off track.
So I've done it about 4 times now, and I've gotten 1 upgrade piece. Chili has 9 clears, no drops yet. So I don't know if we really know what kind of rate those drop at. Because if it's like, I don't know, a 25% rate like I'm getting right now, then I think it's...
I don't think it's 25%
it's
rate.
a decent amount.
No.
Kaylee Fortuna has 10 clears with 2 drops, so that's a 20% drop rate. If it's around there, I think that's decent. So you're not going to have to do it 60 times. Maybe you have to
Chili
do something.
says he saw some with 30 clears, 0 drops. Again, it's RNG.
They must be kicking puppies. Okay? That only happens if you have bad karma. So yeah, that's if you really get unlucky and you need to get 60 runs of this to upgrade 1 set of gear, that sucks.
It's a lot.
But honestly, Castrum isn't that bad. Most of the runs I've done have gone pretty smoothly. Avi's going to talk about her first run a little bit later. So yeah, as we said, the base gear is eye level 495. So it is horizontal progression that will be outdated in 2 months.
Yeah,
when we get the next patch.
It's a lot of effort.
But if you upgrade to the augmented gear, Avi,
it'll be outdated in 3 months.
You still have eye level 95 gear, 495 gear, and it will still be outdated in 2 months.
Oh, okay.
But the augmented gear does have special abilities like haste,
Oh, no.
That will only work in the southern Bozjan front.
Wow. Get yours now for $9.99.
So is it worth putting that much time into it? That's something you're going to have to decide for yourself. I actually quite like Castrum, but I can't see myself doing it that many times. I don't even do a new dungeon of a patch 60 times before the next patch is out. Thank you for that sub, Allura, for real. Like I said, though, I just checked how much my legs sold for, and it was 2 million. So you can, if you're a gillionaire, you can.
I probably would have sold them.
You can buy these pieces.
But I'm just saying, for 2 million gil, I'd have sold them.
Okay, but if you have a bunch of gil, you can run the Castrum 4 times to get your base set, and then you can pay for the upgrade pieces if you wanted to. So you don't actually have to do it 60 times.
I mean, that's kind of most things in this game. If you're rolling in gil, then you don't have to.
Yeah, you can just buy crafted gear to get you up really quick.
Yeah, you're fine.
You don't have to do tomes.
What are these tomes things?
Any questions about that gear, Avi?
I mean, we're going to talk more later about Bozjan Southern Front because we have so many things to talk about, you guys, that we're not trying to save it for later in the podcast at all.
Anyone wants to call in? This is a show. KK, get that trash cat out of chat. All right. So that's everyone's favorite segment, Greenleaf Minute. Now we'll get to Avi's favorite segment. It's the tweet of the week. It is the tweet of the week. This one comes from Chili, who says,
Really?
Seems like At She Heals I Tank is streaming the new Borat movie. Very nice.
That's your tweet of the week?
All my tweets were like about election stuff this week, so that was like...
I mean, it's kind of a mental thing right now. I get it. You know, we're not like 4 days away or whatever.
But I actually did really enjoy streaming the Borat movie on Amazon Prime Watch Party on Twitch, so I think that's something I'm going to explore in the future. So join the Discord. Let me know in the Beers with Vegan Pete section what you guys are interested in watching, and maybe we can all come to a conclusion with what we should watch next. Little group effort. What do you think, Avi?
Very nice.
Very nice. Now it's time for news and notes from around the realm.
So if you haven't noticed, there's actually not a lot going on in regards to news this week. There's been no official game news, but they have archived the latest episode of Duty Commenced.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say like our first 3 news stories wouldn't make it in a normal week.
If you don't know what Duty Commenced is, then you've been living under a rock if you play Final Fantasy XIV. It is a live stream done by the Final Fantasy XIV community reps.
Really quick, you say that you've been living under a rock. You know how many times like people will just like ask a question that I think everyone should know, and not like a Greenleaf Minute
well, no, but
type
like
question.
That's why we have the Greenleaf Minute.
But it's like...
But I feel like, okay, if you're in any Discord channel that gets any lodestone updates, you will see Duty Commenced, and if you see it, you wonder what it is at all, you'll click it.
But that's what I'm saying. There's people out there that like don't know the patch notes are posted on the lodestone.
I mean, do those people listen to podcasts?
Probably not.
Then that's fine.
They all seem to be on Facebook though.
That's because they're your mom's age. I'm just kidding.
99.
So they usually do these streams when new content comes out. So in this latest one, they were showing off, of course, the Bozjan Southern Front. So if you haven't caught any of these streams, then you can look it up in the archive and see what kind of shenanigans they get up to.
And there was a hot fix this week. I still contend that they shouldn't call these hot fixes if they need to take the servers down, but whatever. The main thing that we talked was what we talked about last week, with the timer to queue for the Castrum being changed from 1 minute to 6 minutes.
Right.
The other change of note was in the Kill It With Fire CE, critical engagement. Visual patterns have been added to Dead Leaves damage area to diversify the colors and improve visibility. So they're helping out any of the people who have to deal with color blindness, which is very nice.
Yes, they essentially.
Nice.
I feel like they almost need a colorblind dev on the team if they could to help them be like, we can't see this. This is not sufficient for, people who suffer from colorblind. But I know it's a spectrum, so I guess that wouldn't work too well. But I don't know, like, I feel like there's got to be some sort of a software or something for them to check this out and to verify this before they release content.
I got to give him credit, though. It's a pretty quick fix for something like that. I definitely think there's lots of games out there that this would be complained about for a really long time before they even discuss changing it. Square Enix, or at least the Final Fantasy XIV dev team, has been very aware of colorblind issues, and it's a very accessible game for a lot of people, I think.
I'll agree with you on that.
Aurori says there are people that are totally surprised at maintenance, even though it's posted as you log in. Yeah, a lot of people that just don't read.
They just don't read. Yeah, that's on you. If you're surprised by maintenance when it shows you maintenance is happening when you log in, like, yeah.
Or they're like me and just don't know how to read.
I mean, you're reading right now.
I'm doing this all off the dome, Avi.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't write an outline at all.
He likes to write the outline.
All right, if you're running out of space, Avi, is there something coming out that could help people?
Oh, I thought you were going to read. Okay, sorry. So this was actually shared in the Discord. There is an oncoming Final Fantasy XIV themed hard drive coming to the Japan region. It's a 500 gigabyte external SSD with a Final Fantasy XIV logo on it.
Wow.
I mean, it's listed on the Japanese Square Enix store for 11,800 yen, which is about $112, which is a lot for a freaking 500 gigabyte hard drive.
That's on the pricier side.
I mean, the logo is just the logo. It's the meteor with the text saying FFIXV, white on black. It is an external hard drive. We were first thinking it was like an internal one, which only certain sort of cases would allow you to even see that. Like, I think,
yeah, at first I thought it was going to be an internal one. And I was like, half of the people wouldn't be able to see that shit.
And sorry, Chili, I love you, but I was like, this is a cash grab moment to me. And collectors who want to own all the things are going to pay the money for it because they want it and they want to own all the things that say Final Fantasy XIV. But to me, if you really want a Final Fantasy XIV SSD, get one for a better price on Black Friday and put a sticker on it.
I kind of baited Satyrs Eagle's Claw. He says, darn, I thought maybe they were increasing in-game inventory because I led that with, if you're running out of space.
A 500 gigabyte SSD for $112, external hard drive. I paid that for a terabyte internal hard drive. So it's up to you guys.
Yeah, if I'm going to pay that much for a 500 gigabyte one, like, I want some LEDs on that meteor.
Hey, there should be a little bit more going on. And it's
I want to be able to change the color of that damn meteor.
You could just buy a Final Fantasy XIV, one of those white vinyl stickers where it's like just the white part, and stick it on, and it would look the same.
Yeah, buy a $5 sticker and then just slap it on a SSD, and you're good.
I'm sorry, Square Enix. That feels very cash grabby to me. Like, it's just, I mean, at least, a 500 gigabyte hard drive, charge $60 for it, then sure, yeah. But
let's be honest. Any mega corporation, everything they do is a fucking cash grab.
I know, but some of them just feel dirty. This one feels dirty to me. This one feels like they're yeah. I don't know. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. If the price was lower, maybe like it just, yeah. That Chili's saying that for this price, that's a decent price for a decent SSD drive. But Chili, you have to take into account the storage and the speed and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you do the math. If you like, if a 500 gigabyte SSD is that price, I'm shocked, and you're getting ripped off.
I think I paid like $70.
Yeah, it's about half that price. So, wow, yeah, you are getting ripped off. Sorry, hun.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Moving on, we rarely talk about other Final Fantasy games, but the biggest Final Fantasy news this week, honestly, was some news for Final Fantasy 16. We got a little preview.
Also known as the new 14. No,
because it's Yoshida.
Have you not seen all the memes? Come on.
I don't pay attention.
There's so many memes. Okay, anyways, sorry.
Why don't you add that shit to the outline then, huh?
Because I assume you're like kept up to date with shit.
Can do a meme review. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's Cutie Pie.
Yeah, that is Cutie Pie.
I don't.
Just like you said.
What? Cutie Pie? I don't even watch this shit. It's not my thing. Not my thing.
Look at that. She fucking said the name wrong. She knows what that was a total intentional thing. She's like, I don't want to admit I watch.
I wish it was, because in my head I even spelled it KEW. Cutie.
Quaity pie. Quay. Got a little preview of what some of the characters in the world are going to, or who they are, I guess, basically, and what the world's kind of like. What surprised me the most was the most chatter around all of this was the protagonist's name.
I know, it's so bad.
He's the firstborn son of the Archduke of Rosario, Dawson. His name is Clive Rossfield.
All right.
Apparently a bunch of you out there don't like the name Clive. You don't think it's a good enough name for Final Fantasy character. And I don't know why. Is it because like all of you just want names that have to do with the weather, like Cloud or Lightning or Squall? Are you like upset or bummed that they didn't go with Thunder? Were you holding out hope for Typhoon or Hurricane? Maybe you were hoping for Sleet or Fog. Honestly, the outrage I think there should have been was the artwork next to the character that Clive had a Karen haircut.
Pretty bad.
Clive looked like he wanted to make some manager's life hell that day. So I think they should have taken a much better artwork piece for Clive.
So Clive needed a better hairstyle.
And it seemed like
less Karen hairstyle.
That's a young Clive. I think in the trailer there was an older Clive.
There's a lot of time, like sort of passing. I don't know if it's time travel. We can't really go there with that, but like he gets older and hotter, like the Warrior of Light did. He like the older he got, the scruffier and hotter he got. But I did look up the name Clive. Pete, what do you think the name Clive like means? Because names like have meanings.
The only name I know is Clive Owen.
And that's gonna help you. But like I'm just saying, do you think maybe Clive does mean something like fog or typhoon or something? You just didn't know it?
I doubt it. Pretty up on my weather patterns.
So it means cave dweller. So they went from
cave dweller
or
Owen.
cliff dweller. I'm sorry. A cliff dweller is a Clive. Someone who dwells on cliffs.
Where'd you get that from? Bullshit.com?
Google, same difference. Babynames.com said that one.
Oh, God. Seder Eagles Class says Zidane or Locke. I don't think those are great names. Like, I went through and looked up, because I haven't played all the Final Fantasy games. I went up and looked up all the names. I'm like, what are you guys complaining about? So
I mean, I would have, Gale would have worked.
I'm like, it's kind of a normal-ish name, but it's not like Zidane's a great name. And it's what was it? Zidane Tribal? Equivalent of like a fucking tribal tattoo, man.
Wow. Ouch. All right.
And I don't know. I just know that a lot of them were weather patterns. I'm like Cloud, Lightning.
That's why I was like surprised there hasn't been a Gale.
Gale Force. If they would have went with Gale Force, I would have fucking ripped that shit to shreds.
What if it was Gale Forcefield? Because it's Rossfield. No?
They probably had it on the list and they're like, nah, they just ticked it off.
I'm curious. Yeah, no.
I wish we knew like behind the scenes shit like that. They're like all the names that they went through before they landed on Clive.
I mean, I'm sure there's some sort of like logic behind it or something. And Clive.
I mean, all the names were kind of ordinary. It was Clive, Joshua, and I forget what the girl's name was. I think it was like Lily or something like that. I think I'm wrong on the girl's name, but it was a very common name. And I kind of like that. Because who the fuck knows a Zidane?
Her name was not Glide.
The only Locke I know is from Lost.
Oh, it's not. I can't look this up while I'm playing. It's going to try to, It's asking. I type X, but I do think it's funny. I type in FFXVI names, and everything's like FFXIV. What's the best name for your character? Like it all goes back to 14. Oh.
The girl's name is Jill.
Oh, I mean, sorry for any Jills. I'm sorry. That's just okay. It's all very. Yeah, you're right. There.
Jack and Jill went up the hill.
Clive and Josh and Jill.
When you say them all together, pretty boring group.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like me and my friends. Peter, Mike, David, and Eric.
Well, you guys are basic as
fucking basic bitch names.
They're all they're pretty basic. I mean, they even went to Vegas for the bachelor party.
And we went into that strip club. They were like, "Really? That's your names? Basic bitches?"
Okay.
And I'm like,
I don't need to know more about going into the strip club stories.
And I'm like, "Get up on that pole, Misty." All right. So we have You got some lore to teach me tonight?
I got something to teach you. Yeah. Ivory's like, good idea. Pete, buddy, I think you might be sleeping on the couch.
Pretty comfortable.
Mm-hmm. All right, Pete. So.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Motherfucker. Tim Makase says, Pete, you gotta shirk that aggro first. If only he'd be like, come here, cat. Come here, cat. All right, so this question was originally asked in episode 194 by me, and you got it wrong.
Would it have been asked by anyone but you?
I mean, some of them have been, like, I created the question.
Have we done any call-in teaching Pete lores?
I mean, KK McLeod did one. We have people give me questions.
Okay, but you've always asked them.
No, but, like, I made this question. How is this, like, a new thing? I always tell you who originally created the question. Oh.
I've got her on tilt. That's a poker term.
He's got me on trying to not look at everything as an object to throw at his head. All right, so among Gridania's conjurers, sorry, I'm a little
conquering conjurers.
Well, no, the conqueror is kind of there because I'm a little like aggro right now. There are the elite few who can sense the voices of the elementals, known as hearers. The strongest of whom are called the seed seers. Gridania has 3 seed seers. Which of the following is not one? Favorite kind of question. A. Raya O Senna. B. Benza Ayama. C. O Apesi. D. Ahrun Senna.
You fucking kidding me with these names?
Nope, but I'm probably pronouncing them horribly, but you know.
Can I look?
Yeah. But you can't read, so how are you gonna like read them? Raya O Senna. Benz Ayama.
I feel like Raya is one, and I feel like
O Apesi.
I feel like Ahrun
Senna. And I forgot Mazda Miata.
I feel like I don't know, the O-Op one just looks weird. Like it's supposed to be Oppo. I'm gonna go with C. Oppo.
I think that's the exact same one you went with last time.
Is it B?
Yep.
Shit.
Benz Ayama is the one I made up.
Who gives a shit?
Or yeah.
Did Pete level White Mage? Level 80, baby.
Doesn't mean he did the quests or read the words.
I think I did the quest for like up to level 35, and then if a story doesn't get me right away, I just fucking skip it.
Albert Lips done quick said the Pajali are all pretty tool, and I was like, whoa, dude, I kind of like really dug their story, and then quickly responds with asterisk, cool. That was an amazing like mistype right there. I was like, oh, I'm actually gonna fully disagree with you on this one. I really like them.
I did get a chuckle out of purging the taint from that storyline.
Doesn't mean he remembered their names.
No, fuck no. We only really need which one saved wasn't there, it was like the boy that, or was it Rana who saved what's her nuts from the Aether live stream thing?
So
I fucking just gave like a million people conniptions right now.
Pessy is the boy.
All right, so I feel like he was kind of like responsible for pulling Y'shtola from the live stream, or was that Rana, the main one? Or did they all three like Ghostbusters that shit?
Who's Rana? Who are you talking about?
The first one, A. Rhea.
Raya Osena?
Isn't she the main one? Oh no, that's Connie Senna.
Yeah. She's the very like white magey one. Like she's got the red and the white outfit going on. Then Rune Senna.
All 3 Sennas were involved. And then they pulled out a naked Y'shtola.
Oh, this is also the boy, but this is the one whose bangs cover his eyes.
So mysterious. All right, once again, I've never got one wrong.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. So
that's what I'll probably get wrong every time because I don't give a fuck.
We know. All right, Pete, you want to move on to discussion? I feel like this next segment was something
you know, I was just cruising the official forums, and I know most of the posts on the official forums are just trolling, but there's one I couldn't let go. Because my character has been glamored this way for what? 6 years? Something like that, Avi?
It's been a long time.
Long time. This post was titled...
Oh, so you like took personal offense to this.
Offense taken.
I forgot. Yeah, this actually does.
I mean, it's a troll post, so not really offense taken, but this post was titled, "Less shirtless men, please." And predictably, the post read, "This is the only MMO I've played with shirtless men running around." Well, you're playing the wrong MMOs then, my friend. Seriously, does anyone actually enjoy looking at that? Here's a secret. We don't. Women can be sexy, but men should stay covered. Thanks.
First of all, that's very sexist. That, like, I mean, I'll admit I don't need to see the bits, like, the man bits. Like, that's sexier when you don't see all that. I mean, but a man ass can be wonderful. Like, and, like, a nice, like, chest and like, abs, like, the six-pack. Like, I mean, good-looking shirtless man. Like, why do you think, like, freaking shows like Outlander are so popular? Because the guy's running around in a kilt, like, it's like, whoops, you know, like, I don't know. I disagree with this wholeheartedly.
Of course. And we all know it's just because seeing the shirtless men is awakening a feeling in that person that they don't particularly like.
Well, I prefer to see the shirtless men than like the really over-sexualized female characters. I mean, it's your character. You dress them however you want. I get that. But I personally, if you're going to do like the sexy character, I prefer it where there's like a bit of humor kind of thrown in, like Pete's ridiculousness of being like barely dressed. I don't know. It's funnier when you're trying to be sexy in an awkward way to me than just like watching your character run around half naked. Like, there's no like physics involved with like the man topless. Like, video games don't put effort into that like they do the women's. And I feel like, I don't know my point actually, but I don't understand why you're like, because the effort isn't put into it, we shouldn't have to see it. Like, what?
And yeah, average lifts. Like, most of the posts on the forums are shit takes. And like I said, this is one of them. This is the trolly one. Mm-hmm. But I with my character glamored the way it is, I had to at least mention this post. So yes, just because the men are turning you on doesn't mean that they should not be running around shirtless. Just embrace it.
If Pete looked like his character without his shirt on, I would never let him. Would totally be down with it. We'd be recording a shirtless podcast, at least for Pete's end, every week for you guys.
Challenge accepted. I will have to not drink for a year to get into that kind of shape.
It's a lot of effort. I don't mean that. Yeah, no, I can't look like. No shame. No, not trying to shame you. Just like, he's fucking cut.
Yes, I am. I'm gonna unplug your mic really quick because you're not coming through well on this recording.
I'm sorry.
Yep, that's probably
Oh, sorry for your ears, guys.
Sorry if I just blew off your ears.
Oh, that's a lot better.
Yeah.
I can actually hear myself even.
All right. This recording's gonna be weird.
You're gonna have to like edit that little bit, yeah. And then suddenly Avi's loud.
So yeah. All the shirtless men, be shirtless. Don't let assholes like this on the forums.
Let your nipple-free pecs fly free.
Deter you from doing that.
You little Ken dolls, you. Now I'm loud. I gotta move my mic away.
And I turned you up because I thought you were low at first, but it was just we needed to replug your mic.
This was our mic. That was bad.
Now I have to edit that out. Yeah. So yeah, let's move on to the Bozjan Southern Front. A little discussion. I've pretty much given my takes on this. You're not rank 15, but I'm gonna say you've basically completed the Bozjan Southern Front.
I think I'm rank 11 or 12
because you've done Castrum now,
and there's really no reason to be rank 15.
Yeah, you've finished the story. You've done Castrum. Everything else is just repeating what you've already done to try to get the gear if you so choose.
Right.
So let's go through the beginning. You start off by doing skirmishes, which are basically like fates. The only thing, I guess even fates give you lore, but these give you some sort of lore into the southern front of Bozja. Kind of explains a little bit about some of the people that are with you.
I think I like them better than fates. Like, because I actually, before the podcast today, after work, I did like a couple fates for my, just kind of to get some of the relic weapon pieces. And you legitimately just ignore everything that's said in those. And at least I feel like for the skirmishes, you kind of go, ooh, why is this character here? What is that for? And it like there was the one with the Mikote, and there was a unicorn with her that had different colorings. And I was like, it actually made me curious as to what was going on.
That was a critical engagement.
Oh, well, just kidding.
Which is basically like a skirmish just on steroids a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, the critical engagements and the skirmishes are similar, but the critical engagement is like, so like when you're in a zone and you have to do a bunch of fates to pop like the bigger fate, that's kind of what the critical engagement is, but it's like you have to actually queue for it and get in. And yeah, I guess so the skirmishes are just kind of okay, but the critical engagements, I guess, more so than the skirmishes are what really caught my attention.
So I think in Eureka we had notorious monsters, which when you think about it are basically a fate. You go there and you kill the monster. Mm-hmm. So I always compare this to Eureka because it's what we're doing to get our relic.
Chili did say there was a unicorn skirmish to pop the critical. I thought so.
There?
I thought that I thought I saw it in a skirmish too.
I didn't notice it. So comparing it to Eureka, do you prefer this fate system to the to the notorious monster system of both of us have really only done Animos to compare this to.
But the tricky thing with trying to compare that is that Animos really only was about your relic, where your skirmishes and your critical engagements also level your character. And so I don't feel like I can equally compare them because I like the fact that I can level another character. Like I've been playing Dragoon predominantly in the Bozjan Southern Front because it's my only character that was like in the 70s, or only job that I hadn't fully leveled up within that little like window. And I like that I could work toward my relic weapon on a job that I also wanted to level at the same time. I'm a big fan of being able to like kind of work on multiple things at the same time and be very efficient about my time. Even if it's slower, like it was kind of one of those things where like I understand that if you farm the fates, you get the drops faster. But if I'm in there, I'm kind of exploring this new area and I'm experiencing these new engagements and skirmishes and leveling my Dragoon. Like I did not do it on my Dancer, which is the class I was working on my relic for, because I think I would have enjoyed it less had I been doing it on a job where it was only for a weapon I didn't really care too much about. Does that make sense?
Well, what job you went in doesn't matter. You can.
Well, no. But my enjoyment of it was greater because I was also getting experience points while I was working on my relic.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get that.
That's a personal thing.
I did most of mine on my Gunbreaker.
That's because you're like tank privilege.
Yeah. Just because the only other job I had that needed XP that was above level 71 that could actually go in there was my Astro, which I eventually did get to level 80 in there. But
congrats!
But I mostly did Gunbreaker just because I'm more comfortable on that job.
This actually made me a lot better on Dragoon. I was actually getting like, I know what my buttons do.
Like I mentioned last week, I accidentally queued into Castrum as my healer.
Yep.
And that was a fucking experience, I'll tell you what.
Learned the things.
maybe wasn't as bad as the healer we got for your first run. Do you want to talk about your first experience in the Castrum?
I feel like we should talk about Castrum after we talk about the zone and the alts and the gear. I feel like that's like the last thing.
So skirmishes and critical engagements, kind of the same thing.
But not, because the critical engagements also like up the difficulty level. So we got into the red chocobo one, and there was 3 of us, and we were in Discord, and it was another friend's first time going, and we tried to warn him like, this really sucks. There's a big learning curve on this if you're not used to doing it. And he had to walk away after. He's like, I'm done. That killed me for a day. Like, I need to go get a drink and just kind of chill. And you can't.
And apparently you can use Lost Reflect if you have that, and that helps you out in there.
Yeah, a little hot tip for that is Lost Reflect can help with the red chocobo one. But for anyone else who's not gone into it or who's gotten really angry at that that critical engagement, know that it sucks for everyone the first few times. So don't feel like you're not any good or it's like your fault or anything like that. Like it's meant to be like, they like the idea, I think, of taking this cute little I'm a chocobo and I'm gonna murder you. Like, it's just kind of this thing that Square Enix has been having fun with.
Yeah, just focus on dodging. Don't even worry about DPS.
It doesn't matter if it dies, just as long as you stay alive.
But I have to tell you, the first time I switched from going from my Gunbreaker, my main job, to Astro in there, I was like, holy shit, this sucks. Like, I couldn't get hit by shit. I kept on dying.
You got hit by everything, not you couldn't get hit by shit.
Well, I mean, you can't get hit by shit because you'll die.
Well, yeah, but you're literally going from tank to squishiest. That's a big jump. Like, I think it probably would have been easier for you if you went from tank to like a melee job or something, like, or a range job, or like some sort of DPS that's not like a cloth wearing class. So that might partially be you, where you were able to be lazy with the mechanics because you're like, meh, tank.
Hey, let's be honest. I'm really good at mechanics.
When you know them, yes.
Hey. I got used to it. I paid a little more attention when I was a healer.
No, I'm not trying to like I'm messing with you right now, but I'm not talking shit on your ability to do mechanics. But when you're going from tank to a cloth class, like, you're literally going from one spectrum all the way to the other, and you're like, it's a lot harder. Well, yeah. Like, yeah. That's obviously, like, when you play a cloth wearing class, the mechanics are harder because if you get hit, you die. Whereas a tank, you're like, you call that a hit?
Yeah, it's just a little annoying because I do get a little bit of tunnel vision because I'm like, okay, I want to be a good healer. Like, I don't want people to die. And then I'm like trying to keep someone up, and then I'm like, oh, no, I'm dead.
So I did do some critical engagements as a healer. I did switch to my scholar, like, kind of to help the group because we had the 3 of us, and it was like some things were difficult, obviously, if you didn't have a healer. And I did find, like, where you do like an alliance raid, you've got everybody's little alliance party up in the chat and you can see everybody's life right there. I had to go in and turn the HUD system back on so that I could see everyone's HP bar only when in battle, because I don't like to see that running around. Because if I'm playing a healer and my party has 3 people in it, because you don't have to join big parties for critical engagements all the time. I feel like it makes more sense for me to work on keeping the entire group alive more than it does for me to try to DPS. So the only way I can do that is if I can see people's health bars. And there were so many people in those engagements that it gets really difficult to like click on them, because that's how I heal. I'm a PC player and I click on the person and these are random players. If I tried to like tab through them all, like, oh my God, I would murder them. And I would get super frustrating sometimes because I was like trying to heal this one person, but there's somebody right next to them doing their freaking like positionals, and they keep like blocking my click or whatever. So it is very difficult to heal like the parties outside of your own. So be nice to your healers in Bozjan Southern Front, especially if you're getting healed or taken care of by people outside of your party, because it's not the easiest of things to do.
Average Lift says, look at all the Vuln stacks I can hold. And I kind of have that mentality as a tank. But what I do like about that is the Vuln stacks don't fall off in these critical engagements.
You like that about them?
They stay there forever. Yes,
even if you die?
Yeah. Huh. Because it's like, okay, I fucked up this many times, I should die.
I do like there's the one critical engagement. I remember you were like, okay, so if you dodge all of the mechanics, then you are thrown into the pool for people to do the 1v1. And the very first time I did that critical engagement on my Dragoon, which I am not a good melee, I made it to like I dodged all the mechanics and I was like, woohoo! And Pete's like, don't you dare say no.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna make fun of you so bad.
And I said,
if you say no.
I said yes only because he like peer pressured me into it. I didn't get chosen, thank goodness. And then the next time I was like, bitch, I don't want to be chosen. I'm gonna hit no because I don't like other people like care about this and are like watching those mechanics and understand way better than I do how to use the are they the forgotten abilities? Lost actions. Forgotten abilities, lost actions, you know. I didn't want to be that person who like took it away from someone who actually wanted it because it would be just funny to watch me die really fast. But it did feel pretty cool like the first few times I did that fate to like not get hit by anything. And then I think that was actually that particular critical engagement was the one I healed. I did not get thrown in the pool on when I was healing because I was so frustrated trying to watch everybody's health bar. So yeah.
I finally got picked for that 1v1. And full disclosure, I fucking choked.
Aw.
I was ahead of myself in like what happens because I had seen people do it. And I forgot to stay still during one part and I moved too soon, got thrown up in the air, died, and didn't have any sort of lost action res ability up.
Aw, bummer.
So I fucked up.
Yeah, I'd rather have somebody who like wants to do it. I don't know. I'm not that person.
I want to do it so badly.
Right, and I don't want to take that away from that person.
I absolutely love that part of the Bozjan Southern Front. And I love that if someone beats it, it gives everyone nearby a 50% metal buff for 30 minutes.
I think that's really cute. And I do think it is fun to watch people do the 1v1. It's not necessarily, now that we've been in there for like, you know, a couple weeks now, it's not fun to watch them do the whole thing unless they're your friend and you have like some personal stake in their succeeding. So I tend to like see them going and then I'll go and I'll do a fate, especially one where you can like do the turn-ins. We've learned that you only need to do 6 for most of the turn-ins and you'll get the gold. So I'll run in, I'll do 6 turn-ins and then I'll keep an eye on my map and be like, okay, he's at 80% now. I better get back there so I can be there and get the buff. So I don't know. I kind of enjoy like the dynamics of that. And it feels very much like a team effort where yeah, I'm working on my stuff, but I'm excited to like sit here and watch you win. Because then even if it's just the last 20%, I'm sitting there going, ooh, oh my God, his life is so low. Why is he doing that? Like, I don't know. It's just fun.
I kind of like it too because I felt the same way in Eureka as well. You can get to a point where it just seems like you're going so fast and so long. And
fast? Oh, like nonstop.
Yeah.
Not fast, but nonstop. Okay.
And it's just like, oh, I kind of need a break. I kind of just want to watch this person do this 1v1.
Yeah, like it gives you...
I'm like, I don't care if I miss a fate. Like, I'm good. I'm going to hopefully get this 50% metal buff.
Well, and if you are interested in doing the 1v1s, it's really cool that you can watch them do it because you can learn the mechanics before going in. So you're not like just going in blind, essentially. You know, you're going in from someone else's experience.
That's the real way to do it, not watching someone's YouTube video. Average says, people who say yes get chosen and then wait out the spawn timer to serve warnings on their account. Why would anyone do that? Like, why would you accept it if you didn't want to do it?
That is, yeah, that's not
Besides
nice.
me peer pressuring
that's
you
like,
into doing
that's
it.
just like a hardcore troll thing.
But if you would have got it, you would have at least tried.
I would have tried.
You wouldn't have.
I would have been like freaking out. It would have been the funniest thing ever to stream because I'd be like so high pitched it would be insane.
Yeah, you wouldn't have just let the timer run out.
No, that's a troll move in my opinion. That's a healer who uses the limit break 3 when your melee is super excited to do it. And they steal it from them at the last minute.
It's a troll move, and like, how worthless is your time?
I know this sounds specific, but it might have been because it happened last night, KK McLeod. You're so
like,
mean.
How worthless is your time that you're just gonna sit there?
Some people, I mean, it's not about their own time. It's about messing with other people's.
I know, but how worthless is your time that's worth it to you?
Satyr just even said there are crafters who already have titles that go in again for the ranking and restoration. It's literally to prove they can do it.
You fuckers.
It's like a privilege thing.
You dumb motherfuckers.
Don't call them dumb motherfuckers.
You dumb motherfuckers.
Chili's planning on going back in so he can get the Saints one. KK's still laughing about that shit. Oh my God, that was the meanest thing. It was clipped, and we did tweet that video out if you want to see it.
If you do it on a new character, so you get that title for the new character, I'm fine with that. What's the point of doing it on the character
for the same title.
And Square Enix, what the fuck is the point of making a new achievement every time? If you make whether you make a new achievement or a new title, like if you make something new, people are going to do it. Mm-hmm. So just make it the same. Don't do a fucking new title every.
So other people have a chance to do it.
Don't do a new achievement every time.
It was E6S, yes, and it was a player who had just started really playing Melee, and we were trying to beat E6S again, and I think it was our second clear for this person on Melee, and the second clear for our new Red Mage, and he was like, "Yay, we don't have to use the healer one! Third clear. Yay!" But he was just like, "We're not going to use the healer limit break," and he was so excited about it, and then KK just went in and was like,
fucking trolled. Got him.
Oh, not nice.
To be honest, I think we were going to kill it before he even got the
We were, but it was still like, oh, my heart.
But it's fucking great.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm still salty about fucking Skyranker. Hey, want to be famous? Fuck you.
I don't even remember how to block him. I haven't done it in so long.
I got it.
There's so many of those on Twitch. Like, everyone's like, want to be famous? Like, come on. Like, get at least more creative with it.
Fucking nope. That's why you're banned. No one wants to be famous here. Avi, the Zone, the Bozjan Southern Front. What do you think about the Zone aesthetically? How did it make you feel?
I like how it's broken out into
horny?
What? Okay. I do like how it's broken out into like 3 different segments. I like how like it's like kind of very like layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. And thank you so much for that sub, Average List Done Quick. Really appreciate that. Your support. And I like how it's very easy to tell which portion of the zone gives you which drops from the skirmishes and the critical engagements in regard to getting your relic. I do like how that's classified and that's very clear. And I do like that they use the Aetherites. They held
your hand through
and they used your Aetherites throughout it. I actually did like that. And you didn't like the aesthetic of the zone. I actually was totally cool with the aesthetic of the zone.
Yeah,
the only thing I hate is the freaking NPC Mikote Bard that shows up and is in your ear. And she's like right there so loud, and no matter where you move on the fight, you hear her like shooting her arrows in your ear the whole time, and you just can't get away from her. I hate that. I think that voice should be wiped out of the game. I hate it. Oh, it's a femme hire. I assumed it was a Mikote. Thank you for correcting my prejudice there. I hate it. I hate it so much.
The first 3 times I heard it, I was like, what fucking Lala picked that voice?
See, and I thought Mikote, and it's a hire. And Ivory Mist even just said, I walked away from a skirmish for that exact reason. I hate that voice. And Spookatron's wondering what that was. Yes, it's a bard. I knew it was a bard. I know it's a bard sound effect, but ooh. It makes me mad. I'm not a fan as well of female characters like fighting and going, oh, like it's not a thing for me. Like if you're actually fighting or you're grunting and you're working to kill something, I don't think a woman would actually sound like that unless she knew she was being filmed and watched. And I just don't like that. And I know a lot of that sounded very anime when I did it, but
you don't know there's cameras on the battlefield.
I couldn't play 13 KK. I couldn't play 13. I tried. I couldn't do it. Didn't like that one. Yeah. So then hearing it, like, at least I can adjust my character and I can turn off the other people in my party's audio if I need to. But that one was just, yeah. If a woman's freaking working her ass off and she's trying to kill something, I don't think she sounds like that.
It's more like, ugh.
I'm not making that. I mean, I'm not making my like working hard sound effect, but I'm sure it still sounds kind of erotic because woman grunting is like an erotic thing for guys, but it's not. It's just not. Like, where is like the diaphragm in that? That's all throat. Like, it needs to be at least kind of guttural.
Mm.
Yeah, it sounds like Xenos. Now's the Xenos time. That's what your women should sound like. Not that. I'm just kidding. But yeah.
I can't control my horny level.
Oh.
We've already talked about leveling ults. You said that was kind of an important thing for you, where you felt like you kind of needed to kill 2 or 3 birds with one stone.
I think it made it better content by layering that in. I don't think it was like necessary
And
for it, but I think it's a positive. It's like it's smart to layer the content like that.
If they didn't do that, then we really would have been missing a deep dungeon.
Right.
With no way to
the DPS
level
and the EXP is really good, and you almost don't even notice when you level. Oh, excuse me. You almost don't even notice when you're level, so it's kind of cool in that way.
It is. I got to level 80 on my Astro.
Mm-hmm.
I hit level 80 on the same critical engagement that popped like right before Castrum. So that's another thing that like screwed with me.
Yeah.
I was like accidentally
new abilities.
I was like all about being level 80, and then I'm like, oh shit, we got a queue for Castrum. And then I queued as my Astro, not having any idea how to actually
You
heal.
did that when there was the 1 minute thing and you're kind of freaking out about the timer running out, and you just got to get in there. And because the first time we queued for Castrum when I was there, we had just gotten in a critical engagement, and we had to be those people who immediately did the return. And then that way we could queue into Castrum, because I had learned pretty quickly that was the only way to do it. So that's a little Greenleaf, I guess, is that if you're in a critical engagement and Castrum pops and you want to do that, the only way is either die and then return, or just return and then you can queue for the critical
before
engagement.
It starts.
Right.
And
welcome to level 80. Here's a raid for your enjoyment.
And we kind of already talked about Relic and the gear.
Well, you wanted to talk about Castrum.
Yeah, but you kind of care about the Relic. You don't care about the gear.
I care about the Relic. I actually think the Relic's like, I was actually kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't have my Relic before raid this week, like, because it is definitely an improvement. The gear I don't care about it. If it looked cool, it would give me more of a drive, but like it doesn't dye very well. There's some gear that has like a lot of like a worn brown dirty leather aesthetic to it, and everything dyes but like the 70% of the gear that is this brown leather, and that's disappointing. So like even if I didn't like the color but I could dye it and really like the way it changed, it doesn't change much. It just dyes to another dirty color with a lot of brown, and I'm not a fan for that. Yeah, the leather brown needs to be dyeable. We need to be able to have like to change that. So just my opinion on that. I realize I'm saying this in a very God, what's the word, right? Not naive, but ignorant standpoint, because I haven't looked at the stats. Uninformed, ignorant, yeah, willfully. So because I've got like, I'm playing my dancer's my main.
I mean, we know how this game does stuff. They're never gonna add anything that's better than the raid gear.
Right.
It's gonna be about what the tome gear is. There might be a little bit of difference on some pieces depending on the stat.
Yeah, so it's not my thing, and I'm not the kind of person who wants. I don't have to catch them all, so I don't care if I have the gear.
To catch them all.
I know. But so yeah, we did get into Castrum. And Pete kind of mentioned me being mad at a white mage. So I do think this is actually, it's funny, but it was also infuriating at the time.
You wish you would have had me as a healer.
I do, actually. So we get into Castrum, and I'm a Dragoon, which is not a class I'm comfortable on. But again, there's that 1 minute panic, and that's the class I've been playing this whole time. And everybody's looking for a group, and we get our group of 8 people. And in our group of 8 people, we get 1 healer. 2 tanks, 1 healer. It's a white mage. And the white mage is like, oh, sorry guys, I have the buff, which I'm sure you guys know the name of it, that lowers my healing ability and increases my DPS. Guess you're going to have to figure it out. And I thought they were joking. And they did not heal the entire run. They cast Glare the entire time. And I'm sorry, I had ACT up because I wasn't actually curious about DPS. I was actually curious about this motherfucking white mage's DPS. Because they refused to help out our party. And I was like, okay, you know what? If they're like top 5 DPS in this, something's going on, then I get it. They weren't like top 20. Their DPS was shit. So they're not only like, I get like you want a DPS as a white mage. That's cool. But you know what, asshole? Everyone else in this party can DPS. You know what no one else in this party can do? Heal. No one else can heal.
I had lost Lost Cure 4.
Oh yeah. Oh, but that's it. So our party was kept alive because everyone was using their lost abilities. And we had red mages that were like keeping resin everybody. I mean, I died a lot. I was casting my cures. I'm a dragoon and I had set it up wrong, so I had to like mouse click to heal. So for this white mage, I'm actually do pretty decent DPS as my dragoon because I said I like to watch ACT and kind of learn how I'm doing it. I probably did like 2/3 my normal DPS because I kept having to stop and click cure 3 and then cure 2 to try, like, because that one ran out and I had to equip the other one. And just like, it was just stupid and so selfish. It was so, the selfishness of it is what pissed me off so bad. Because like, oh yeah, you got this ability that makes it so your healing isn't so good. Just fucking take it off then. There's this ability like you do, oh, right click, gone. Done, no longer on my fucking HUD anymore. It was so selfish and maddening. And I think like 4 people out of our group of 8 were brand new at the end of that. And it was their first runs. And I just don't understand people who play MMOs, multiplayer online games, and then they're fucking selfish like that. It honestly put a really, I am having a Pete right now. It put us, I hated it. I hated everything about Castrum because of this white mage. I couldn't stop staring at them going, fucking glare again, glare again, glare again, fucking glare again. They wouldn't res people. They wouldn't heal people. They didn't do shit. And they didn't even do good DPS. It was so maddening. It was so maddening. That's
the worst part, right? Like, you're playing like an asshole and you suck.
And you suck. You can play like an asshole if you've got the cojones to back it up. Their DPS was awesome. That's why I pulled up ACT. I was like, all right, back it up. You showing this big game. Let me see your D. And I didn't talk shit to them. I'm talking shit to you guys. I'm not sharing the person's name. I don't know the person's name. But I wanted to just see if they could like back up what they were saying with their skill set.
Their name was Sausage McContent.
And they didn't. And it just made it worse. It made it worse. It made me so mad. It made me want to leave Castrum after the first fight because it made it that much harder. Well, and then so we were the lower side, I guess, and then there was the top side, and the top party was so slow that like Pete had mentioned, like, oh yeah, there's like a big Colossus that comes out sometimes, but I've never seen it happen, and I think it could have happened 3 times. It happened. No, Colossus came out.
We only got 1 Colossus.
It was, yeah.
But I have to say, my tank abilities, I provoked that motherfucker.
He did. He sacrificed himself really well.
Pointed him away from the group, killed me. Everyone else lived.
That was pretty good.
Fucking good on me.
So yeah, sorry. I may have had like a bad interaction today with somebody at work that I wanted to yell at, and that might have come into play with this rant right now. But it just, as someone who, I'm not a main healer now because I'm maining dancer, but like who has healed for so long, the whole point is like, you're the only one who can heal. Even if your tank dies, somebody else can get aggro. They may not be able to survive it, but somebody else can get it. You're still the only one who can heal that party. And to be like, I don't care. Like, just have fun, bitches. Like,
So, with all that being said, you didn't appear to have a great time in Castrum the first time.
I've only done it the one time.
Which is why I think we need to go in again.
I agree I need to go in again, but obviously if you could not tell, I'm still salty.
Because she was like, fucking Castrum sucks. Like,
I didn't enjoy it. I didn't really enjoy a lot of the mechanics, but I think that is partially my own fault because I was so distracted by this fucking white mage. And I couldn't stop staring at them not cast anything but glare. And I was just like, and I realized that white mages can heal on their off global cooldowns. Like, I know that's a thing, but I also was watching the abilities being used by other players and the reses cast by the, because I know how, even though red mages are casting, like, it's kind of an instant res, I can tell when they're doing it. And I died so much, and I would not have died so much if I had a fucking healer who was actually doing their job.
Yeah, you need to go in again. I think you'll have a much better time.
Give me a couple weeks or like a lot of alcohol because I was not
Spookatron
happy.
Says I lost 20,000 metal their first time in.
That's horrible.
Okay. You did not die nearly that many times.
I didn't die that many times.
You only died maybe like 3-4 times.
In one fight. No, I died like 6 or 7 times.
I don't think so.
I died a lot. but like
I'm bummed we don't have a stream for this, because maybe that should be like the new stream like thing that we can upload to YouTube, and it would be like rate this person, rate this healer. We'll block out their name and be like,
No.
how bad was this healer?
No.
What? We're blocking out their name.
Saytar just said Avi plus lots of alcohol plus streaming Citadel equals amazing stream. Because at least if I have like lots of alcohol, I don't care about being nice. Otherwise, I try to be nice.
Chili's losing a lot of metal in there, but that's because he's rank 15. You lose a lot now.
I was 11. Okay, so like I lost like 500 metal per death or something. Like it wasn't a lot yet. But yeah, the mechanics are very, very new. And they didn't make any sense to me, and I didn't know what the people are calling out directions. We're going north and southeast and southwest, and Pete's just like, he's the only reason I understood what was going on. He's like, oh, we have to go save the prisoners, but make sure if you see the prisoner that you kill the monster first before we save the prisoner or some shit. And I was just like, why is no one saying this in chat? This is like the first week or the beginning of the second week of this content. It was very new, and no one's like explaining that at all. And I was just mad. I started bitter because like the first line was from that healer, and I was just like, I hate your face.
And yes, Filbert, you do still lose metal at rank 15.
I do have a solution though. I think that like PvP instances, you should be able to change your class in Castrum. That is enough, like, to fix it for me. I would have changed to Scholar, even though I know I would have died a lot. I would have changed to Scholar and been like, hey, guys, I'm new, but if this bitch isn't going to heal, I got you when I'm alive.
It does seem like something, since you're queuing with a bunch of random people.
And you could have a group of all DPS. Like, you should be able to change your job.
I agree with that.
That would, you would not have gotten my wonderful rant. It wouldn't have been as the size.
No, we still would have got it. You would have been like, this other healer I was paired with wasn't doing shit.
No, it wouldn't have been as annoyed as this, because this was, how long did Castrum take us? Like 30 minutes?
Probably like 45.
45 minutes. 45 minutes of staring at the party list going, I hate you so much. I hate you. I hate your mom, and I hate your dog, and I hate your fucking little cat.
You don't even know if they had a mom.
I don't even know, but I hate them. Because of 45 minutes of that. And if it had just been like a little 2-second comment and then people could change to healer, I would not have had 45 minutes of like issues.
So we got to go back in.
Not right now. No.
Right after the show.
No. I'm still like, I actually have not been back. Like after we finished that, I was like, I need a break now. I'm done. I have not been back in.
I wish I was like Jerry Springer. I'd be like, behind this curtain we have Castrum that we're going into right now.
Oh god, no. I actually today was, like I said, I was farming fates for my relic because it made me so bitter, so salty. Like
Oh, you've actually gone to farm fates for the drops.
Yeah, because the one that you get in the highest zone, I have 2 of, and the other 2, I'm sorry, I should know like the names of. I have 22 of one and 17 of another, and 2 of the top area. So I was like, I'm just gonna farm some fates in the Dravanian like hinterlands and be fine.
Yeah, I haven't done that at all. I have enough of those for the first part of the relic. I only have 2 of the bitter memories because I don't care about getting my relic quickly. I've only got those from the leveling roulette.
I haven't done any of those. But yeah, cluster farms. I've heard that if you get a good cluster farm, you can get like the mount in about an hour and a half. I'm angry with Castrum, so I have the bitter memory.
And as Chili says, the bitter memory just makes weapons glow.
I mean, the glow is the whole reason to have the relic, so I get that. Yeah, they're a lot faster. The memories are slightly faster than Fates, so that's good because Fates are really fast. So yeah, we haven't had a good rant in a while. I was mad. I
feel like I just ranted about Sky Steel.
But that was funny. This was like legitimate. Like I was upset.
You don't think I was upset?
No, I do not.
Wow. Really quickly, Avi, we haven't really talked that much about you getting back into the raiding scene.
I thought we had.
I think what's fucking crazy is you had one of your fucking legendary rants was about a dancer not being a healer.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're fucking raiding as a dancer.
That's because I didn't enjoy raiding as a healer because I blame myself if we wipe as a healer, even if it's not my fault. Even if there was like a group full of dragoons, and I've been playing dragoons, so I can say this, and we wiped, and I'd be like, it's my fault because I didn't heal you.
I'm not. My point was not that you're not playing a healer. It's the fact that you're playing a dancer when you were so mad that it wasn't a healer.
I'm mad that it wasn't a healer, but they did a wonderful job in designing dancer. It's a very fun class to play. I mean, I am fully not the best DPS, which is still hard for me. Like I want to stand in front of a dummy and just work on that, but like when I'm playing dancer, because the class itself is very RNG, and it's like if this procs use this, if that procs use that, but and this is preference over that, and literally sometimes it's like you have a half-second moment to like realize if that's gonna hit or not, and if you hit the other one, then your DPS isn't as good as it could have been. So as I'm playing dancer in my head the whole time while we're raiding, I'm like, fuck, I should have hit that. Fuck, I should have hit that. Like that's how I'm playing, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of an interesting dynamic. And so then I see my DPS is improving, but I feel like it's almost plateaued right now, and I'm not okay with that. I need to
take half an hour, go stand at a training dummy.
But the thing is it's more than the half hour.
So I just think that's funny that you were so upset to begin with that dancer wasn't a healer, and here we are raiding and you are playing dancer.
But that was also just because you were guys like, we need a DPS, and that was the only DPS I was enjoying.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I don't think there's anything
You're
wrong
making
with
me feel like I have to defend it.
I just think it's funny because you were so against it being a DPS.
I was, and I still feel like for the time that it was released, we should have gotten a healer.
Definitely.
Like, doesn't mean they didn't do a wonderful job in creating this particular DPS class, but during the time it was released, we should have gotten a healing class.
I enjoy that you were able to get through your initial...
I mean, I'm bitter, but I don't hold a grudge that hard. I mean, because they gave energy drain back. Like, if they'd have never given energy drain back to Scholar, I'd still be a bit pissy. I would actually have quit playing Scholar 100%.
Yeah. So this week we just beat E6S again.
Yes, because we have two. Well, new melee, person switching to melee, and then new ranged. Yes, we had to reform our group again. So we had to reform
a little bit. I think I get just as much enjoyment out of getting someone their first clear as I do getting my first clear.
I don't. I mean, I do enjoy it, and it is fun. But it's not the same as getting it yourself. Getting it yourself is like there's a level of
I almost enjoy getting someone else their first clear more.
But and I know so the person who's joined our group, her name is Kitty, and it's another girl, which is really cool because and she and I play very similarly because I would notice she was getting kind of caught up on the elements that I was getting caught up on, and the guys, I don't know if this is like a sex thing or something, but like the guys never shared that info with me when I was learning with them, and then when I'm with her I would pick up on it. I'd be like, that's because of this, and she's like, oh, and so then I would make a point to kind of call those tiny like micro moments out that like I know that I got caught on. And so it was kind of cool to have somebody else who experienced the fight in a very similar way that I do, and I don't know, and she's also like me where she was totally being overly hard on herself if we were dying, and we're like, girl, you weren't the only one who died there. Like, we all made dumb mistakes. So it's just nice to have somebody else in the group who has a very similar kind of personality to me.
So yeah, we are really enjoying this new raid group. Hopefully this one sticks because we've gotten to E8S 2 times and had to reform.
And then the raid party falls apart. And we literally like did E8S one night, and then our raid group had to somebody had to leave because of personal reasons. It's like nothing against them.
It happens.
But E8S is kind of cursed for this raid group.
I've been there like 3
So then we started
times.
over again because we had to re-gear up. One of our melees moved to tank, and then one of our ranged moved to melee, and then we had a new ranged, and so then we have to gear up 3 new players. So it's shut up, KK. Not even gonna read what he said.
But yeah, still enjoying Savage. I actually think 7's gonna be easier than 6.
Yeah,
7 is kind of, we can smooth brain.
6 is harder than 7 for sure. And the annoying thing with 6 is that like the hard bit is like right before the end.
Yeah.
So it like never repeats again. So like you only have to get to that point to learn it, and then if you fuck it up, you die, and you have to get to that point again to learn it and die. Get to that point, like it's like fuck this fight.
And the funny thing is, once we finally beat it, now that we're able to go in there unlimited times and still get 2 chests, we just kept going into that to get the 2 people geared. We beat it first try the next 2 times in.
Yeah, we beat it 3 times. After they got their first clear, we beat it 2 more times.
I really love when it just clicks for someone and they're like, oh, fuck, yes, now I get it.
I feel like extreme primals or like savage fights have almost like an emotional block on people until they've beat it. And then once they beat it, it's like the pressure is gone and they can just do the fight. And I've seen it happen multiple times where it's like, you can't beat it, you can't beat it, you can't beat it. And then you do. And then it's just like, you got it every time after that.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of fun. There might be like 1 or 2 parts you still kind of like, but you don't get in your head about it. And it's just kind of cool. It's a weird phenomena that I feel like is very specific to gaming.
And one thing with raiding I wanted to talk to you about was Shiva Unreal. This is something that when it first came out, we were doing 2 times a week. We haven't stuck to that every week.
Right.
We've missed a couple weeks. How are you feeling about Shiva Unreal? Do you feel like it's worth doing?
I feel like it felt like it was really worth doing when it first came out. Like it felt like it was like part of our like weekly things you have to get done. But I feel like almost the points that you get, what are they called?
The leafs.
The leafs. Getting 15
faux leafs.
Getting 15 leafs from beating Shiva feels like a little bit of a slap in the face.
And you even got way more than the rest of us. You hit that
at
fox
first,
a time.
at the beginning, like, but now I'm like haven't hit it since. I'm like almost at 400, I think now, which is
I'm at like 250.
That's not that far off, honestly.
It's like 4 weeks.
Yeah, but it being like 15 points every week, you know, like on a decent, didn't get the fox, but I got the 2 swords and I got the box. Then you can do it again and maybe get 5, maybe get 15 points. It just so I guess if you've got a set group and you guys are going in there and you're knocking it out and you're doing it every week, it's easy peasy. You know, you're good, lemon squeezy. 1 week Pete asked me to stream for him. And I just got my voice back and I hadn't streamed in maybe 2 months, especially by myself. And I was like, I told him beforehand, I was like, I really don't want to do Shiva. If our group's not here, he's like, it'll be fine. We'll do Shiva. So I had to stream 2.5 hours of Shiva Unreal, and we had 3 people who'd never beat it before. And we spent 2.5 hours trying to beat it until we got to the end. And it was like hard. It was like painful because there are people like in our FC who I really like, but I was like trying to stay positive because I'm streaming, but I was also like, I want to quit so bad because I don't care. It's not worth 2.5 hours for those 15 points. It's just not. It's just not. So
what you're saying is you would never join a pug group.
I would never pug it, ever. Never pug it. You'd have to pay me to pug it. You have to pay me well.
Pay you 15 leaves.
No, you have to pay me well to pug it. Ugh. Yeah.
1,000 gil.
No, you have to pay me real money.
100 bits.
KK says Pete and Avi will be 80 years old and she'll still be bringing this up.
Agreed.
Oh, all right. It's horrible.
I'll keep my crafting for next week. So let's get to the community roundup, partner. And this is more something for you, the community, to do for Square Enix, opposed to like someone that's making content in the community. The Golden Joystick Awards are going on right now, and I think this is your last weekend to vote. Final Fantasy XIV is up for 3 awards in the Golden Joystick Awards. They're up for Still Playing, Best Gaming Community, and Best Expansion. When I was voting on this, the weird thing was when I got to Best Expansion, it specifically said patch 5.3.
Right.
I'm like, no, not 5.3, 5.0. But I still wanted to win, so I still
We're hoping that's a typo.
Still voted for that.
Yeah, Best Expansion is a patch. I think it's wrong.
But I'm like, yeah, 5.0 is good. 5. They all got a little bit worse. So yeah, go to vote on the Golden Joystick Awards. Avi just posted it in chat. I'll post it in the show notes as well. And let's get some recognition for Final Fantasy XIV. I think they lost in the best gaming community last time. I thought that was a little unjust. I think Destiny won. Still playing is going to be hard because Minecraft kind of had a resurgence. And so Minecraft's pretty popular. I think best expansion, that should be theirs as well. But it's one of those popularity contests, so you never know.
Right.
All right, a little bit of listener reaction this week. I had tweeted out, as a crafter, I am no way comfortable in forecasts giving Biden an 80% chance of winning. I've had way too many no-quality crafts at 90% plus when I'm supposed to get a high-quality craft. Make sure you go out and vote. And
that actually made me chuckle. I was like,
KK McLeod says he needs to use the skill Obama used in 2008. What was it? Oprah's blessing. Then there's a 100% chance.
I can totally see that, like, in the little HUD.
And VoxNet7 says, Christ, this is the most if you know post I have ever read. And I got 6 crying smiley faces out of that one. Best I've ever done.
I feel like I know more so just from, like, by proxy hearing you than actually, like, doing that sort of content. Because I don't craft things that difficult to do. Like, collectibles is, like, the hardest I get, which is pretty easy. All right, Pete, anything else you want to talk about?
That's all I got.
All right. So on that note, this is going to be it for this episode. As always, we've enjoyed hanging out with you live here on Twitch. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Be sure to hit that follow button so you know the next time we will be going live. And a great big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast through iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, and now YouTube. You really are the reason we keep making episodes. And remember, wherever you do listen, it would mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little shit podcast a rating or a review. Or, tell a friend, check us out. I hope you all have a very happy and a very safe Halloween this weekend if you choose to celebrate it. And here with Vegan Pete, I am Avi Ale, and we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.